now that I'm handcuffed. So you open up your belt. Again. Yep, got out of it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about handcuffs. How to get into them properly, how to get out of them properly with two different methods, paper clip and a bobby pin. I have both of those hidden on my person. These are Viper Tech, but the mechanism and the heavy duty is all standard issue. It's the double lock mechanism. So these are just off of Amazon, I think 30 bucks, 25, 30 bucks. Definitely worth getting and practicing with. So I'll throw these in the link below and let's get started. Now, important. You want to be able to get handcuffed. This is why I made a joke about getting into handcuffs. Handcuff with the mechanism at the bottom. Okay, that's how usually everybody does it anyways. But just in case, if you ever have a situation where you have the mechanism on, or if you have the mechanism and the chain on top of your wrist like this, that's no good. One on top, one on bottom should be fine. But let's just do how you're most likely going to get handcuffed, which is on bottom, just like this. Okay, let's tighten it. Not too tight, not tight, not. So I'm going to use the key. I'm going to use the key to do the double lock. So that one's double locked. This one's double locked. Have the keys nearby always for safety. Have your phone nearby for safety. Have your wife nearby for safety. I'm not going to tell you what happened. Okay, so. Oh yeah, so when the double locked is engaged, you can't tighten it or disengage. So now I have a surprise right down here, and inside my belt I have a little zipper wallet, zipper pocket. And I have my little paper clip. And also, and then you bend it about 90 degrees. Okay. Pause for a second on that. And now in my shoulder pocket here, I have a zipper pocket. And in here, I have a little standard issued paper clip. This one it's already the one that I bent earlier. So you take one, you probably can't see, but you just take one of the edges, the end of the paper clip, and you just pull it out, and you just have like a 90-degree paper clip. Okay. Okay. So now, you might not have a table with you, but either have it on your lap or next to the table. And so these little paper, the bobby pins, you need to get the rubber tips off of it. Use the one that has the flat edge or the flat part of it, not the ribbed. The ribbed is for something else. No. But you got to get that off of there. And you just take the sharp edge and you just. There it is. You get that. Just scrape it along the edge of the sharp metal. The metal edge of the thing. Now you want to put a little angle on the tip of that. So you just stick it in the keyhole and you just stick it about 1/8 of an inch in, or just a little bit in, and you get a little angle on there. See that? Just a little angle. Doesn't have to be a 90-degree angle. That's actually even almost too long. I'm going to have to rebend that to be shorter. This right one's going to be kind of tough. You want to have it on the bottom like this one, especially with the double lock mechanism. Now, one more fun. Ouch! My fingers hurt. Now, one more thing is that with these ones, because they're not expensive and perfect standard issue, and they're from a certain country that doesn't make high quality items very often, the middle part of the keyhole, that little middle inside the center, it's off center just tiniest little bit, that it's just fine for the key, but it's just enough to make it a little bit of a problem on some of this. So anyways, I can't explain everything. This has to be done in person. You have to either come to my trainings or get personal training from me. Or there is videos where you can get real close up. See that keyhole right there? See the little nub that comes out of it? Imagine that nub is 6 o'clock on a clock. The opposite is 12 o'clock. This right kind of down here. Let me see if I can get... Anyway, yeah. So anyways, the nub is 6 o'clock. So for the double lock mechanism, go to about 3 o'clock and stick it in there. And again, you're going to need practice and usually somebody in person to do it. Let me see if I got it. Yep, I actually got it. That's the more difficult to do, but I got it on the first try there. And then the other one, for the unlocking disengaging mechanism, that's going to be about 7 to 8 o'clock. Because you're going to stick it in there, 7, 8 o'clock, and you're going to just do that. That's how fast it is. It doesn't take a lot of time. For me, since I got these in the mail, the handcuffs, and watching some videos beforehand and watching some videos after getting them again, and just learning the mechanism, probably 2 hours to do what I just did. 2 hours of practice. So every morning I would take 10 minutes over a few weeks, 2 weeks. So anyways, now this one's a little more difficult because it's on, but since I got a free hand, it's actually not too bad. Let's see here. But it's also my left hand, and my left hand's a little less coordinated than my right. Oof. Damn, this is a perfect little angle. Sometimes you get the angles just right, and it's just perfect. It's just like that. Literally, that was 10 seconds. The locking mechanism is what usually takes the longest. That's the most difficult. But, yep. As long as you have the mechanism on the underside of the wrists, either side, this way or this way, it's easy. So you're either picking it like this, or you're picking it like this. So, anyway, super easy. Then you can be safe inside the house, outside the house. Safety first. And make sure you have a safe word for when you use handcuffs. So when you see the bad guys, if you're ever in a situation where there's bad guys, you can say, "Hey, this is my safe word," and it'll distract them while you pick the lock. Actually, I didn't do the let's do the paperclip real quick. Paperclip is harder because it's thicker. Okay. So again, I just got a weird little squiggly bend and about 1/8 of an inch, almost a 90-degree angle. It's just a squiggly little bend at the end. Again, you just have to practice this. Oh yeah, let's do the mechanism. Let's do the locking mechanism. Yep, see that? That was like 15 seconds, and the locking mechanism was like 10 seconds, and the other one was, 2 seconds. Sometimes you gotta just keep rebending it, especially in the paperclip. The other one, the bobby pin stays pretty the same. It's partly because my left hand is not as coordinated, and also the mechanism is starting to break a little bit. Well, anyways, I would have just taken a little more time, but I didn't want this mechanism to kind of get faulty on me, and then I'm stuck in these until I get a hacksaw or call somebody. So that's the paperclip, just with the disengaging mechanism. Bobby pin is your number one friend. The paper clip is second to that, depending on what kind of paper clip, because this is just bends a little too easy, and it's also it's round, so it's a little bit fatter, which is not exactly what you want. There, I got it. Yep, see the middle of the keyhole is just moving around a little bit, so I don't want to put these on again. That's alright. See how quick that is, so. Oh well. That's why you spend a little bit more money to get the actual standard issue. God, I don't know the name of it, but you just look up standard issue, law enforcement handcuffs, and it's like an extra $10, so I didn't want to spend anything too crazy when I first. So life is threatened and you are cuffed by some bad guys and not the police. If you're cuffed by the law enforcement because you did something bad, that's your fault. Do not try to get out of handcuffs if you're in any kind of trouble with the law of any kind. The hardier the bobby pin, the better. So if you want to have one for on your person for self-defense, or for things like this, or just to have, you know, if you're a MacGyver fanatic like me, then hardier the better. So anyways, if you can see, let's just imagine that right there, the bottom of this hole that has a little opening coming out of the bottom. Imagine that's at 6 o'clock. The very opposite is 12 o'clock. Okay, so if that's 6 and 12, then you know where 3 and 9 is. Now, for the locking mechanism, you're going to want to, let's push that in there. For the locking mechanism, you're going to want to put the tip of the bobby pin about 3 o'clock. Okay, and you want the bent part, you want the tip to be pointing in and away from the center. Okay, once it's in and away from the center, then you start turning it up towards 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And you push it back, and so you want to push it in there, away, and then up, and then you want it to turn like that towards 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then hopefully you can get that to disengage, because here's the hole, and you want to be able to go up towards 12 and push. Let's get the light on it. So the locking mechanism goes across the whole thing, across the top of the hole and across the top. So you want to be able to, so the idea is there's a little shim, a metal shim. So if you go from the very top of the hole, the opposite of where that little bottom hole is, or the bottom space where it juts out, go to the top where it's 12 o'clock. And the idea is there's a little pin that pushes across the whole top of this handcuff itself. So you want to get the thing in there and push the shim this way. So you get it in there at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and you got to there you go. So actually, when you stick the bobby pin in there at around 3 o'clock, I actually did it. The angle is, the very tip of it is towards the very bottom of down into it instead of away from the circle. So it's kind of in there in a way, and also kind of pushing up towards 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then you stick it, and then you click this way, the way I was showing you. So that's really probably the best way I can do it without showing you in person. So that's we got the locking mechanism done. Now for let's get the light on it there, right there. So again, go to 6 o'clock, you stick it in at about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock is the mechanism. So you can almost see it. So I'm going to turn it around, I'm going to stick it straight down and into the little hole at the bottom. Okay, and then I'm just going to go, you're flicking the tip up towards 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Okay? Put your hand in there, or so there's pressure, so when you click it, it can open. So watch my fingers here. So you just go click, and it opens. It almost fell onto my wrist and got me handcuffed. So ironic. What do I do? Whoops. Let's get out of it, I guess. Gotta get out of it. So easy once you understand the little mechanism. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys next time.